Welcome to everybody.
Hello everybody.
We are ready to show another cooking class online. And we are here, Piepaolo introduce the lovely typical menu in Tuscany we have in the winter season.
Okay, welcome. So as you see, we are in chilly January time, so we are going to do a very traditional Tuscan recipe, winter time. So we'll have a traditional pasta that is called pici. Okay, we have here some ingredients. Then we have a second dish that is Ossibuchi alla Fiorentina. After we have a side dish made with fennels, so we're making a stew, and then we'll finish, of course, with dessert, a traditional dessert from Carnival that is called Cenci. So enjoy!
We are ready, come on, and we start for another beautiful menu in this time.
Let's go!
Come on!
Let's start with our Toscan menu, and we start of course with a pasta dish. Traditional pasta dish, it's called pici. Typical from Siena, very simple ingredients. So flour, water, olive oil, and sometimes I will tell you, we put also one egg. For the sauce we have pecorino cheese, Roman pecorino cheese, pepper, and of course some salt. Let's do it now. Okay, let's start with the pici recipe. So here we have the flour, so we add a tablespoon of olive oil, okay, so before of the water, okay, and then we start to mix a little bit the olive oil with the flour, like sifting, okay. After that we start to add our water. The results is that we want to make like a ball, okay, a dough, okay. So we incorporate step by step the water. Okay, now the dough is ready. You see, it's very simple, flat, okay, it's flexible because there is olive oil. So now we are going to put our dough in a bowl. Just put a little bit of olive oil on the top, okay, and cover it with the foil and stay half an hour resting. Okay, we already rest half an hour the dough, so we take our beautiful roll, we put some flour on the wood, we stand on the wood the dough, and then we are going to prepare the pici. Okay, we are almost finished to stand our dough, so we have to reach a thickness of 3-5 millimeter. Then, because we need some elasticity of the dough, we put like a tablespoon, more or less, of olive oil. We do like this, and now we are ready to cut our pici and to prepare. And we do like this. Okay, so now we are making the pici. You see, we're starting from a flat form and we're going to give a round form of the pici, okay? Remember that they are all handmade, so they are all different one each other, okay? So you just put a little bit of flour. The flexibility of the pici is given by the olive oil that we put it, okay? Do like this. Okay, our pici is ready, so we took the pici, we put a little bit of flour, and we save here for later.
I tell you a little story about pici. Pici is traditional pasta from Toscany, but we found pici everywhere in Italy, so pasta made with flour and water. But the real origin of pici, it comes from 5th century before Christ. They found in a fresco a little bowl with some pasta and some sauce. That was pici.
Lot of pepper. Okay, we start to add the salt to the water for the boiling pici. Not much because pecorino cheese is salty. We are ready to cook the pici, okay? Let's take it, let's put it in a boiling water. They will be ready when they come up, but you need to taste a little bit. Let's say 4 minutes. We take some water from the pici. The foam is better, okay? Something like 2 spoons. Okay, now we are going to drain the pici, okay? We use like this kind of fork, okay? You will see if you don't have enough cream, you add some water or pasta. You will see the cream. Our creamy pici with cacio e pepe, they're ready. We help with the scoop here, try to do a nice dish. We will finish our dish with some pecorino cheese and some fresh pepper all around. Enjoy! Okay, here we have the second dish, Ossibuchi alla Fiorentina. Of course, I'll show you the ingredients. Of course, the meat, then we have the flour, then we have peeled tomatoes or concentrate just made here, then olive oil, then we have all the vegetables to make the battuto. So we have onions, carrots and celery. Of course, parsley and some timo that we'll add secretly when you will see. Then we'll use some liquid as fantastic organic red wine and some broth, vegetable broth. Now, hands on cooking, we are starting with our second dish. Okay, we take the meat gently. Sometimes we have some skin to take out, but in this stack it's okay. We add the flour here, we put some salt to the flour, and then we are going to slightly, very easily put our flour on the meat. Okay, we scroll a little bit to take the...
We are ready to do the vegetable broth. Here are the ingredients for the vegetable broth. I usually do a little bit more because I use in different kind of recipe. So onions, a little bit of parsley, our carrots, and of course celery. And we are going to boil and use our vegetable.
Okay, here we put our pan for the vegetable broth, and we add our secret, some kernels of pepper.
Now to prepare the battuto of vegetables to use it for the Ossibuchi alla Fiorentina.
I finished to chop my battuto. We add some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil from Villa Le Torri. Finely chop it. They give a very nice taste to our recipe. And I'm going to cook it. Okay, we are ready to cook our battuto. You're going to ask why we're putting so much vegetable, because we like to balance our food, especially when we cook meat, with a lot of vegetables. Okay, so we are going to soften our vegetables, and then we are going to add the meat and slightly become brown. So it needs a little bit of time to cook these vegetables. Okay, now we're ready to slightly cook our meat. I'm going to take the meat that we put the flour before. Okay, the fire is quite strong right now because we want to slightly brown our meat. It's important to put it on the vegetable, so the vegetable give all the nice taste to the meat. Let's see if our Ossibuchi are ready to turn. Okay. Yes, it's very nice, slightly browned, so they're ready to turn. We add the red wine to the recipe. Okay. We put high fire. Okay, so we wait that the alcohol goes away. Okay, now that the wine is evaporated, we add a little bit of vegetable broth that we prepared before, as you see. In this vegetable broth we are going to melt a little bit of our tomatoes. Okay, it's like a little bit concentrate, but you can use also peeled tomatoes. Okay, remember that we like the recipe is becoming kind of red. Okay, and then we add our thyme. And we let cook 1 hour our dish. Of the side dish of our menu. So here we use the fennel that we just took from our garden. Usually side dish is made with seasonal ingredients, so seasonal vegetable. So fennels, and then we have some breadcrumbs, some fennel seeds, parmesan and olive oil, of course extra virgin olive oil for our production, and garlic. We cut our fennel, okay, then we put a naked garlic, and then some fennel seeds. Okay, this will help to give a fennel taste. Of course, we have to prepare, and then we put our fennel. Now we are ready to put in the stove our fennel stew. We are going to cook around 20-30 minutes in low heat. Start the cooking of our side dish, just starting saute, okay? The fennel, okay? We do like this before putting in low heat because I like to give a strong eating to this. We add some salt. Always we use salt while we are cooking, not raw. Okay. After this, when the fennel is raw, all coated by olive oil, we put low fire and we cook for 20-30 minutes. Pepper. Meanwhile, the side dish of fennel is cooking inside the pan, very slow heat, the stew. We are going to toast some grated bread, okay? So, we heat the olive oil, okay? We put a little bit of garlic whole, okay? And also some rosemary to give some taste to the grated bread. So, take attention, now we put the grated bread, and this grated bread should toast and become a little bit brown. After this, we will add the grated bread at the end of the dish. Now the grated bread is brown. The dish that we are going to prepare is the fennel seeds, so the side dish. Okay? Try to make a dish nice, but not too much things. Here we are, guys, so now we are going to prepare the dessert. Remember, there are the Cenci Toscani, typical recipe from Carnival. And so we have, of course, flour, then we have sugar, then we have the butter that we already melted. Thank you to our chicken, we have 2 fantastic eggs. Then we have the lemon for our tree, and then we have our production Vinsanto. Started the recipe of Cenci Toscani. So here the flour we make a hole, like when we make the fresh pasta. Then we took our egg, butter that we already melted, okay. Then sugar and grated lemon. Okay, we start to mix our butter, our dough, and then gently we start to add our Vinsanto. Just to make a dough. So the ingredients should be enough to make a dough. Okay, here we have our dough, very nice and soft with all the ingredients. You can see the lemon skin, you can see the yellow with the fresh eggs. Okay, and now we are going to prepare our cenci. Okay guys, so the dough for our dessert is ready. So you see, it's very nice, round with all the ingredients. Now we are going to rest for half an hour in a film, and now we are going forward to with other recipes. So now after we rest the dough, talking about the dessert, the cenci Toscani. Okay, we are going to prepare our cenci. Okay, we put a little flour on the wood. Okay, that don't be stick. Okay, we turn like this, and we start to flatten the dough. 3-5 millimeters. Now we are ready to deep fry the cenci. Okay, now we are going to cook the cenci in a oil. So you don't have to burn, but you have to be brown. When they become this color, you take out. You can have the decoration that you want.
Okay, now after to have prepared the cooking class, okay, we are here with Guido, a small farmer not too far from here, is walking distance. He produces small quantity but very excellent quality of wine, red, rosé and white wine. Guido, you can introduce your wine and your farm, and after we introduce the wine.
Thank you. I'm a farmer, but also my training is an archaeologist. So I decided to start making wine with this historical approach, and therefore I used all autochthonous varieties, so local varieties that were found here or replanted because we found them in some old fields, and those are some are very known, such as Sangiovese, Malvasia, Trebbiano. Some others are unknown, such as Foglia Tonda, Pugnitello, and Colorino. And so I've made a variety of wine, a white wine which is inspired by Pliny the Elder, and so it's an ancient white wine. And then a rosé, the Chianti Colli Fiorentini, which is the local wine of the area, and then aged Sangiovese, aged Pugnitello, aged Foglia Tonda, and sweet wine, which is Vinsanto, made with dried grapes. So here we have Pici, cacio, pepe. Pici have cheese, and therefore you can associate wine which is a little bit of tannin, such as Chianti Colli Fiorentini. The tannin of the wine and the cheese will melt in your mouth, and therefore it's possible. You can also, if you dare, you can also put a colorino. Colorino is a coloring grape, which is very fruity and has a lot of rose and flowers in the nose, which could add some depth to the Pici, cacio, pepe. If you want to stay without this astringent feeling, this tart feeling in your mouth, you can then associate a white. The white I produce has a very strong taste, so it could go with Italian pasta in general. It depends what you like. Instead, here we have Ossibuchi. Ossibuchi is beef. It has a sauce, and therefore there we have no choice. We have to go with aged, tannic, robust structured wine. And here we have a choice. If you like Sangiovese, aged Sangiovese, which is the most tart wine really you can have, because Sangiovese is very fruity but it has a lot of astringent feeling. If you like that feeling, you go with the Sangiovese. Instead, if you like to be more on the fruit side, and less tart, you can go with an autochthonous variety called Foglia Tonda, because this variety has round leaves, and this is a thinner wine which still has tannin, so can go with Ossibuchi, but at the same time it doesn't have the strength of Sangiovese. Or a Chianti Riserva 2015, which is an aged wine, works really well with any type of beef, and it's a little bit lighter because as the Chianti traditional that I make has white in it, and so it's not as the body is less intense, and therefore you might enjoy the taste of the food more. Then there is fennel. Fennel is difficult to place with anything. You could either go back to the white or don't drink while you have the fennel. Last but not least, Cenci or any sweet dry patisserie always goes really well with Vinsanto. Vinsanto is a dry white wine, a sweet white wine, but it's made by drying the grapes for 3 months. So it's because it's white, it doesn't have tannin, and it goes best with dry patisserie such as biscotti or cenci.
Thank you very much to everybody to have follow us here on our virtual cooking class, and I hope you appreciate our surprise to have been eating the food with the wine. The wine is local and very excellent, and so I hope really to have you here in Tuscany soon. Salute! Ciao!